it, Sarah. All day. Hell yeah.
Arm wrestling's about to take place.
Yeah. January 29th, King of Cali, organized by Kyle DePew. Italia Arm Wrestling Promotions just jumped on a couple weeks back. So we know you got your big super match, big main event. This is the one we've all been waiting to see. Tim Bresnan versus Derek Smith. What can we expect from you that day?
I mean, everything I got. So like I was saying before, it's such a tester for me because the Tom match didn't show me much in terms of where I'm at. It didn't show anybody much, really, just that I was stronger than Tom. And so I don't know where that lands me. And Tom seems to think it'll be a good match with me and Tim. Obviously the polls are so close. The staking, everything is like neck and neck with me and Tim. I mean, I think a lot of the polls I'm seeing, he'll beat me by like 2 votes. I have like 400 votes. He'll be up ahead by like 2 votes. Even the top guys predicting it, from Devin to John, it's like split right down the middle. Like half the guys are saying I'm gonna lose, and half the guys think I can win. So it's crazy in this one how much it seems like right down the middle in terms of public opinion. But for me, and I've said this a bunch of times, guys, like I'm bigger, stronger than I've ever been, feel more amazing than I've ever been. And I did have a match with Tim about 3 years ago. I wasn't prepped for it, and it came out of nowhere, and he destroyed me. I did learn some valuable things that day about what not to do with Tim Bresnan, where he feels crazy. I kind of a little bit more what to expect. It's just going to be whether, how much of that gap I closed. And he was someone stronger than me that day. I don't know if he was 10% stronger than me or 70% stronger than me. He was somewhere in there because he beat me pretty hastily when he pulled me aside. So all I can promise everybody is I'm the strongest I've ever been, and I'm going to be a whole different monster that day and throw everything I have at him, and we'll see where the chips fall.
So before we did this interview, I went and did my research. I watched that match from 3 years ago with you, and my first observation within the first 5 seconds of seeing that was the size difference of you 3 years ago to you today. I want to know, what was the weight 3 years ago?
It had to have been probably a little over 300, probably like 310 or so.
And you're about 380 today, right?
Like 365. 365.
Okay. Yeah, I was guessing you were anywhere from about 80 to 100 pounds bigger, which in 3 years' time, that is amazing. Well, crazy.
With me, if I just don't drink enough water in one day, that's a 10-pound swing. For my size, it's just the weight is just all over the place. Always has been. I mean, it'll be in a realm. So that's why I tell people, like, I'm somewhere between 350 and 370, depending on kind of which day you get a hold of me. It'll move around a lot. Trying to stay hydrated is super hard for me, like properly hydrated.
I was talking with Travis before I did this interview with you, and I kind of was just consulting with him on a few things, and he was telling me that he went out. I think it was like In and Out with you, and he's like, bro, I've never seen anything like this. He's like, this boy eats like nobody else. So he's like, I don't know what to expect. He goes, but he definitely put on a lot of size and all that. So I just wanted to know, what's different now. Did you start a pancake diet? Like, is your training changed? Like, how do you put on 50, 60 pounds in 3 years?
Well, I mean, like I said, most of it was a scheduling change. Like once you can really just sleep and focus on training, like instead of working every day and just being dead ass tired and trying to find a way to get in the gym and trying to eke out like this little tiny bit of workout and stuff. And it's the moment I was able to change my lifestyle towards just training. Like that was the biggest switch ever. Anything else besides that in terms of my diet or pancakes or anything like that is minimal compared to the fact that you can rest and approach the gym like wholeheartedly, right? And rest and go. If I need to sleep 10 hours, I'll go sleep 10 hours. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Like I can with my current schedule. So it's like that is just growing. So everything's just growing. I'll get injured. Cool. I have massage therapist dude that was on my team. If not, I got massage guns, hot, cold treatment, like just trying to become more of an athlete and training more serious. It just comes on a lot more steady, I guess you'd say. That mixed with my love for arm wrestling and my team. We're practice every Sunday, no matter what. Had a team of amazing guys. The second strongest guy in California. Yeah, I said second.
Tomlinson, correct?
No. Mega Mike.
Mega Mike. Okay.
Yeah. So he's on my team, and so I get a hold of that guy. I have other amazing guys I've been surrounded by, and Tony Tomlinson is a good buddy of mine who's 45 minutes away, so we pull pretty often as well. But yeah, I mean, I've been around a lot of great dudes and had a ton of amazing mentors, and arm wrestling community in and of itself, like I've been able to message anyone ever, and everybody responds. So any questions have been answered 100%. So I don't know. I think all those things combined.
You said you changed your work schedule. When did that actually occur? How long ago was that?
The biggest change was a little over a year ago now, is when I stopped working at UPS. I was working at UPS Monday through Friday, then working at nightclubs on the weekends doing security.
What job were you doing at UPS? Just because when I was younger, I was like 17, 18, I worked for UPS also.
I was a supervisor. So I would oversee the preload, so loading of package cars. I also did some unload stuff, but mostly just preloading, loading up the package cars before they head up.
Very cool. Yeah, I used to be a loader, so I know that. I think in the first like 2 weeks, I think I lost about 10 pounds back then doing that.
That's some cardio right there for sure. Moving.
For real. I wanted to know, is there anybody that you're training specifically with to prepare for Tim Bresnan?
In terms of Tim's style, man, I had such high hopes. And all these guys, so Mega Mike pulls very similar to Tim Bresnan in terms of the pressures he puts and how he stays on the outside a little bit and drags. And the moment I got this match, Mike was prepping for Jordan Sill, injured after Jordan Sill, stayed injured, healed up, had one match with Mario Tambakis, got re-injured. And so Mike hasn't been to a practice and full-on practice me right-handed in like 10 weeks. So my prep, that whole idea was gone. Right? I haven't pulled with Mike in forever. And so Tony Tomlinson kind of pulls like Tim in some way because Tony stays on the outside and goes underneath. But we've pulled, it's just a different pressure because Tony is all hand and gobbling up like this. And Tim has more faith in his arm and stuff and staying connected.
Going sideways.
Yeah. So it's a little different, but I've been able to pull with Tony as much as I can. So wait for Mike to get healthy again. I need him. I tell him all the time. I call that guy every day. Tell him I need him. He'll have to get back on the table with me.
You made mention of Mario Tambakis. I got to meet him. He came to my tournament in Washington State, and I was very, very impressed with him. Definitely, he showed me that the Aussies are no joke, and they've definitely leveled up and all. What was that like after or before when the Washington State that Mike and Mario got to pull?
So he did Washington State one weekend. Next weekend, he went to Florida, trained with Chance Shaw and them. And then the next weekend, he came to me and he trained down here in Southern California. Then he went home. So I was the third stop. So I'm sure he was tore down. He had to have been. 3 weeks in a row of pretty heavy, crazy pulling. It's a lot. I know he's young, though, but still, it had to have taken its toll. But, dude.
Yeah, I know, because at Washington State, he pulled the tournament. He was very dominating. And then we had like an after party. We rented this big house and all, and we had a big after pull. And not only is he a great arm wrestler, but that dude could make the best drinks you've ever made in your life, bro. The dude knows how to party and all. But on the after pull, he was on the table for a good 3-4 hours after the tournament also. So he had to be beat down from all that.
Oh yeah. But I asked him after he left, or when he came out here, he pulled me. And I said, "Hey, who's the strongest guys you pulled?" I was like, "Can I beat Ryan Bowen?" And he's like, yeah. And then he on the list on YouTube, he said the strongest people he pulled in the States. He said I was the strongest guy he gripped up with in the United States. I was like, that's right. He put Chance at fourth. Take that, Chance.
Wow. Okay. That's very cool. So I know your last match was with Tom Nelson, and that was very dominating performance by you. And did that tell you that you were ready for Tim?
The thing is, so my first pro match ever in the history of my career, first time I ever entered pro bracket, round 1, Derek versus Tom Nelson. Right, first and only time I've ever pulled Tom Nelson in my entire career. Right, so he obviously laughed at me, toyed with me. It was like my 5th event ever entered pro, and so from then on, Tom was just always known as the top guy in California, right and left-handed. It was just always him. And I didn't see him very often. And I was never at a level where felt like I had anything for him anyway. And so going into that, I had no idea what to expect. I did my homework and I got a feel for his style and where he would go and what pressures to expect, but I didn't know the level of the pressures at all. Now, people give me a lot of crap, because I'm so much bigger than Tom. First off, don't accept the match, Tom. But if he told Kyle DePew leading up to it, he was mentioning Kyle saying, "I'm the strongest version of me ever. I've been doing nothing but training as hard as I can. Kyle, I'm going to wreck Derek. I'm the strongest dude I've ever been in my life." He was telling Kyle this leading up. We don't put that out there a lot because I don't really care. I know I'm way bigger than Tom. This is just a match that needed to happen just to seal some things up here in California and kind of settle some stuff. But I would have never sought out Tom. Had it not been for that event, King and Cali coming up, people want to prove who's number 1 around here. I don't know when or if and when I would have ever called out Tom. because I'm, like I said, I'm still focused on trying to be Levon. I wasn't really super concerned with a guy who's not in my weight class, but it had to have been done. But I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea how strong Tom Nelson was or was not going to be. So I just went up there, got as strong as I could, and went for it. So it just kind of moved. His arm kind of just moved with it. So I don't know.
Well, the one thing I got to say is I definitely agree that you had to take that match, because if you want to go and say you're the best in the world, you got to start off and you got to win your state. So that was your first step that you had to take. And you definitely did that in a very dominating fashion. And I was very impressed. I actually, when bringing that up, Travis Bajan actually has a message for you after that. And let me read that to you. So he goes, tell Derek if he wins. This is against Tim. He goes, tell Derek if he wins, he should have pulled Tim a year back and won, and not wasted his time pulling that bum Tom Nelson. And if you lose, again, you should just kill yourself. Typical Travis Bajan statement.
Well, tell Travis, duly noted. I appreciate that. Tell him to go hit the treadmill, lose that dad body as he's rocking right now, and then maybe we can have a match one day as well.
All the stars align. You have the best performance of your life, and you knock off Tim that day. What's up next? Who would you want to call out next?
If I destroy Tim, I want Dave. And there's two things in terms of Jerry, right? Because a lot of people consider Jerry after Tim, but like I said, I'm climbing the rankings per what's on that list. So that being said, man, that matchup sucks too. Like I don't want to arm wrestle Jerry, so I'm thankful he's not on the list right now. It just seems like it's gonna hurt so bad. But I also feel like he's someone that like you have to be. If you can't beat Jerry or pose a real threat to him, then you shouldn't even be looking at the top level, right? In terms of, it's like insane style to deal with. But how are you gonna there's some guy that just has your number that you can never beat, right? So no, if you can't deal with that, then how do you consider yourself, up for grabs for some top level? I agree with that. Jerry's style is super damaging and scary to even figure out how to deal with. I've seen how to deal with it. You either have to be way faster than Jerry, or you better have some kind of, you gotta press his press or hook his press. Like that's it. That's your options, right? Basically, if you're top roller and a tall top roller, oh my god, he's like built to arm wrestle guys like me, right? And me and like Vitalia, which is a match I would really love to see, Jerry and Vitalia. But like so the only option is going forward. Like you have to do it the way Devin or Travis beat him. You have to. And if you don't have that in your game, then that's a rough day for you.
Yeah, because I got to see him in action recently. We went over to Texas and we did a practice in Dallas. He got the pull with Robbie Burnett and all. And the one thing I took from that is I couldn't believe how fast the 330-pound man could move into that press. It's crazy. I've never seen somebody that big move that quick. So that was definitely a holy crap moment for me when I seen that in person.
Yeah, luckily I like to hook. Like 3 or 4 years ago, I switched to primarily hooking with my right hand. So I'm not like insanely afraid, but it's still, I just know it's gonna hurt. There's no way around it. So win or loss, it's gonna hurt.
So I wanted to get back to your big match against Tim. I wanted to kind of get a number from 1 to 10. How confident are you feeling in getting this win, with 10 being the most?
I just have no idea. I don't know. We'll aim in the middle. But it's like, the thing is, I don't want for the people that staked on me. This is what I feel about when I give out these sayings. I don't want people to be, oh, Derek's not confident, he thinks he's gonna lose. That's not the case at all. I'm the biggest, strongest version of myself ever, and I'm gonna be a monster against Tim. I just have no idea how much stronger Tim was than me last time we pulled. That's it, you guys. So like, if you guys have faith in me and you have faith in my size and strength and anger and things I've done and how I've been looking, leading up to this, then let's get it. Or like, that's all I can do is control myself. And I'm in no way intimidated or scared of arm wrestling Tim. I just don't know. I just know I'm going to be as strong and as aggressive as I can be. So I don't do that. A 5, halfway. What's halfway through one? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I have no answer for you. No solid answer really. Because I'm not afraid. I don't think like I'm going to lose. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, Paul. I really don't. I feel really good. I
got you. I like that. What is the key do you feel that day for you to win?
Oh, okay. Without giving too much away. Let's see. How can I answer that without giving too much away? Tim's style has been pretty consistent for as long as I can see. Every match I've ever seen ever with Tim, it's a pretty consistent style with some adjustments in there, but generally the same move. It's kind of in the same ballpark kind of all the time. The times I've seen people be successful against Tim are generally people that can give him trouble on his pronation, his ability to turn his hand over. And then there's a few people that have top rolled him. Like when I say few, I mean like maybe a couple of people have top rolled him and actually busted his wrist back like ever. But generally it's through some form of cupping and hand control. So I've been focusing on that for like 5 months now, and it's at an all-time high for sure. Everything's PRing on it. Yeah, I think it's going to come through a lot of hand control in different angles that I have planned. I guess that's it.